Now, see, I looked up when sunrise was on the Weather Channel on my phone. And I was hoping not to miss that. And there was nobody in the line. And guess what? It takes a few minutes to get that rating thing done on the internet for MCDs. Let's see. And the only thing I like to eat here is like the egg McMuffin and the mocha frappe. I'm not a McDonald's person. I really don't even like fast food. Really, I don't. But the people here are super neat. So, didn't want to miss that. Well, we got lots of stuff today for fish. I got more, but that stuff's canned, so I have to open up the can opener and then take it down in the box. I don't have time for that right now. Get that other stuff going though. These dry goods. Okay, here we go. I've never been in this place this early in the morning. But it was empty when I first got here. Until it freaking had to do that survey thing to get my free egg McMuffin. You buy two, you get one free. And that's a really good deal. If they take much longer, I'm gonna sit here and brush my teeth. I swear I have glitter in my eye. Here's my eye drops. Okay. See, and I just told you about the glitter thing in the other vlog. Okay. Oh, hurry up, people. Let us go. Is this guy daydreaming? Hey, dude, can I order? Guess he hadn't taken this guy's order yet. They must have somebody new on the drive-thru because they're not very good. But I never have come by this early in the morning, so the times I come by is during the day, in the afternoon or the evening, and they're super fast. Okay, Jack Mac, we gotta go. I'll tell you, somebody who could run this drive-thru is my daughter. Well, she's top notch. Hello.
Good morning, everything.
Yes, I'd like 2 egg McMuffins and a $2 mocha frappe. I hate sitting here because it runs a fuel out of my car and it's so hard on the cats. Did you get that? Oh, they got somebody new on this window, I think. Did you get that order? They got somebody new on here. This is not usually like
I
this.
just changed my headset. Can you start over?
Yes, I want 2 egg McMuffins and a mocha frappe.
The size?
The $2 mocha frappe.
Alright, anything else?
Nope.
Alright, everything looks correct. 961.
Poor older gal behind me. I looked at her like they were so lost. And she just kind of looked up and held her hands up. It's like, dude, we are confused today. He said something about he had to change his headset or something. I thought he took my order. Again, I've never been here this early in the morning, so. But you gotta take it up my sunrise time here, man. Usually, this is the second time ever I've had to wait in line at this particular restaurant. But yeah, my daughter worked at MCD's for a minute. They offered her huge money. So she took the job. And it was really hard to get a job at her age because, you know, nobody wants to hire you. And it's hard to believe because, God, I worked when I was 11 and 12 years old. And, but she's a hot dog. She's really smart. And they had her on the front end, and at certain age requirements, you can't handle stuff like hot coffee, you can't use a knife, you can't cook. So she worked the front end, which she was real good at that. I mean, she's really good with people. And then, and she's fast. She's not an idiot. She's smoking hot fast, like flames on her heels. And they put her on drive-thru, and she's just tops. I mean, that restaurant was so smooth and neat because she was on that drive-thru. It was remarkable. And as sometimes I would sit there and watch, and I'd listen to her on the speakerphone because they had it so loud you could hear it, and then watch how fast she was clocking the people through, and it was just amazing. And her manner is so good with customers, you know, very pleasing tone of voice and happy-go-lucky and just amazing. But the unfortunate thing is, in, you know, the lower grade food business like that, there's a lot of bad people for customers. And she had a couple situations where the customers were just evil for absolutely no reason. And one time she had cried, and the guy she worked with is gay and married, and he's an older guy, and he was in management, and he was very nice. He got to be a pretty good friend of ours, and customer got all fried one time, and then he started carrying on about how the guy was a fag and everything, and she cried because, you know, this is her co-worker and her boss, and I mean, that has nothing to do with the man's job. What his sexual preferences and what he does in his bedroom is his business. But he was a pretty decent guy at that time, and so was his spouse. And, you know, you gotta love everybody. You can't pick on them because they're just a little bit different than you. What people like is just like flavors of ice cream. Everybody likes a different kind of flavor of ice cream, and they have the right to it. You know, some people like all the flavors, some people only like some of them. You know, I mean, if they like jalapeno ice cream with mint in it, that's their biz. You know what I mean? So, if we were all the same, it would sure make life boring, okay? But yeah, it hurt my daughter really bad because this guy really went on about the guy being fag. And, I mean, he didn't look fag or anything like that. He just talked very proper and stuff, and he imagined he was, which he was. All right, and then I've got this freebie deal, so one of them's free, and how much?
$5.87.
Okay. And so she was extremely hurt, more because the customer was making fun of her coworker for being different, for being gay. And that's just the way we are. We love everybody, and we don't like to, see people make fun of other people because of what they are personally, and it has nothing to do with their work. She's the one that waited on him, not him. That he stepped over to his sister because the guy was just horrible. Thank you ever so much. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15, 20. Got it. This guy looks like he's working fast, but I don't think he's got it together. That's okay. Everybody got to learn. Some people are just slow and some people are just fast. But yeah, so she really, her boss to this day, who now owns a restaurant, still loves my daughter. She was so impressed with her. We had spoke a couple times, and she was just blown away by how incredible she was. And she would bring her in anytime she could, to the limit for her age, because she was just so good, And that's one thing I teach my children is, do the best job, the very best job you can, because you've got more pull. If you ever need a day off, or you're late, or any medical problems or anything, you'll always have a job. They have total respect for you if they know you're one that comes in there and is not sitting there playing on the phone and geeking around, and that you're a workhorse, that you're making that money by the minute, by the hour. God, people are slow today. Remind me not to come here in the morning. Holy Christ. Cost me an eighth of a tank of gas playing this game. I wish I knew how all this stuff worked in this car. For some reason, I keep getting a back windshield wiper running. I hope it goes off. It makes me nervous when I see something wave across that back window and I don't realize it's a windshield wiper. All these cars are so different. Oh, yeah. Okay, we got an Egg McMuffin deal. Is this Egg McMuffins? How come there's ketchup in it? Ice? Okay, I knew a guy used to eat ketchup on eggs. Alright, I thank you so much. Ketchup. Whew. Yeah, when Ron and I, when we were together for many, many years, we worked up at Big Bear Mountain building a real log cabin. And we worked for a guy named Jack. Jack's last name, I can't think of it. I knew Jack from the clubs, and he got, Ron left the union, Carpenters Union, after he helped build the Hilton when he had come to California, and he hooked up with Jack. Jack lived out in Sedina, I think it was, and married, and he was a runaround. He was dating friends that I worked with. God. And So he was always trying to do something. Mostly he did paint. And then he got into these jobs with construction using his brother's business name, Arid Construction. And Jack didn't know poop about construction. So it was really interesting. And so Ronald was, had built, 400 houses on Cape Cod, Massachusetts. He's from Massachusetts. He had his own construction company there for years. And so, Ron was always the foreman of everything. And so we had this job up at Big Bear Mountain in California. And oh my God, just the drive up there, Jesus almighty. And so we'd take the Lincoln up there, and then, he got a camper, so then we would take that thing, or I'd drive the Lincoln and he'd drive the camper, and so it was so cold, mother God, it was so cold, God, and we didn't cook or anything in the camper, but we would, the whole crew and everything, there was guys sleeping in their cars and stuff, some that went to a hotel, and we'd all eat together, breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever. And so at breakfast, there was this one character, he had long blonde hair and he was older, and real thin gone, he was funny as hell. And we go to breakfast, and he is piling on the Tabasco and ketchup all over these eggs. He eat eggs like I eat salad. Oh my gosh. So we were kind of grossed out by it. It was like, ooh. But that's just his thing. He couldn't eat them any other way. So every morning you had to watch this scenario of him decorating his eggs severely, and then he would eat that, and you'd have to turn your head because you'd go, ooh. It was really funny, but he just loves them like that. So that reminded me of that guy when there was that ketchup in there. I thought maybe this guy gave me the wrong order and gave me a burger instead, because it was ketchup in there, and he said, oh no, I do that for all of them. And I guess there's more people in the world that will eat ketchup on eggs. But now, BB's husband, BB's Adventures on YouTube, he is a ketchup everything person. That sucker, I think he'd dip a Hershey bar in ketchup. But I'm not saying ketchup's bad for you. I mean, it has like vinegar, salt, pepper, and tomatoes, I think, if I remember correctly. So, I mean, it's not a bad thing for you. It's healthy. Tomatoes are real good for your skin and stuff. Look at, we're so late for the sunrise, and look how foggy it is. We're going to have a hell of a time feeding the fish today. And the birds. There's a lot of traffic. I think it's all coming from Navarre. There's a ton of people behind me. But I could have gone the speed limit, because it's all slow around here. It's not as slow as Destin, but pretty slow. That's the one thing about being a nomad and boondocking, is you spend a lot of time enjoying life and appreciating simple things of every day. It's not the greatest fun in the world, but there's beauty in every day. right now when I should be working. But I'm handicapped for a minute because the things I've got to do require dry, and it's misty, so I have to wait till it burns off anyway. But I mean, I can't even photograph in this. Not enough light, and it's too misty. It'll mess up the camera. It's fine for those, but all my pictures are going to be trashy because I messed up the lens. But so I've got to get this done anyway because I got to move that other storage room, and there's a bunch of food in there from that auction storage, and then that some stuff that I had that's expired. I got to get rid of it. So instead of throwing it in the trash, I go feed it to the animals. You'd be surprised what they eat. I brought rigatoni down to them. I brought faux soup. Sometimes they eat dessert stuff. You know, like the dogs, you can't give them sugar and stuff. And candy is really bad for them. It'll kill them. But these birds are funny. You'd be surprised at stuff they'll eat. You really want to make their day? Bring them chips. I don't know how to deal with all that salt, but they go crazy over chips of any kind. I'm eating this egg McMuffin right here, and I gotta tell you, it is so good. They make this out of fresh eggs, and I don't know any other McDonald's that does that. Usually I have this thing that they cook. My daughter said, "Oh God, don't eat the egg McMuffins. You don't know what you're eating." I'm like, huh? I don't eat them all the time, just every once in a while. But on this deal with the coupon, you got the 2-for-1 deal, so you get one free. And that's really good because they've got so expensive. It's like I'm not going to spend that kind of money. One of my favorite breakfasts is Eggs Benedict. I absolutely adore that. And this kind of reminds me of Eggs Benedict. You're boondocking, you can't cook. All these people on these vlogs on YouTube, they claim they're boondocking and making, you know, $200K a year. What are you doing? Dude, you've gone crazy. There's no left turn here. You're lost. He's driving on the wrong side of the road. You flipping idiot. Oh my gosh. I wish you could see that. That truck with the trailer, I guess, wasn't paying attention and went to hit the brakes, and there was all these cars, so then he decides it's better to go down to the road because he can't stop or trailer jack nothing. So he's driving down the entirely wrong side of the road all the time. And then the light turned green. And that's a no left-hand turn place. Here's a school bus, and look, they're just hauling booty, so I can't turn. Man, you drive fast on a school bus. I didn't know they're allowed to drive that fast. They're hiring for that stuff, and they pay really well doing it. I have a friend of mine that dances, and she went to go do the drop of some men. That would be a rough job. A bunch of screaming kids and stuff. She said, "It's not on my bus." I'm like, well. It's Oculus Island, and it's funny because Oculus Island, you don't think about kids being here. Egg McMuffin was pretty darn good. Wow. And see, I got 2 of them, so I gotta wait a little while to try to eat the other one. Which I don't eat that much. It's really hard because sitting in the car and then sitting at work all day, you just gain weight from sitting. And I won't work out in the gym unless there's only a couple people there. And that's like the middle of the night. Because I have to work out for hours. I cannot just go in there and do a 15-minute workout. You've lost your mind. I get into it. I used to work out at Venice Beach for hours and hours and hours, like all day long. Every day. Just loved it. Every day I wasn't working, boy, I was down there. And if I worked at night, I was down there in the day. We'll see if the birds come today. The other day, a couple of them came, and the fish weren't around. And I brought meat down for them. Yes. I had a whole bunch of ham. They got that old raggedy boat out. Oh, probably because I vlogged it. Hey, you want to see this? I vlogged this boat the other day. That sure looks like the one that was on the ground out there. I didn't have a boom. And the mast was down. God, that's an old sucker. Holy hell. Yep, they didn't have a boom. Somebody was bringing dock on that bad baby. It looks like they posted it. There's a white spot on the front. God, that's old. What the living hell? I don't even think I saw a boat that old when I was a kid. That's an old ship right there. It's got CF numbers on it though. Florida CF numbers. Look at the bottom of that boat. Boy, it's got a short keel on it. It looks more like a tugboat changed into a sailboat or something. Got an ultimately short keel on it. So cruisers have that big long keel on it. Oh my God, the prop is covered with goog. I bet that thing hasn't run in years. Somebody just set it adrift out there. What a rag. I mean, that's some shipwreck stuff. There's the tire tracks on the side, looks like. See that the big white square on the bow right there? I bet they posted it so the owner would come get it. Otherwise, they'd have to pay the city for pulling it out. And here's a trailer with a flat tire. God, that's old. But look how short the keel is on that thing. It really looks like a tugboat turned into a sailboat or something. Like some homemade thing or something. It just doesn't. A sailboat would have a longer keel by several feet. Unless they broke it off, but I imagine they didn't because look at the prop on the back. It's got all that goog hanging off of it. A couple windows knocked out, probably because people swam out there and wanted to see if there was treasure on it. Jesus, that's an old rag. God, what? No name on the back except a piece of wood. What does it say? America? What is that? looks like a piece of wood, and I painted the name on it. Well, it's got some old-timey PHPOPUOS or something. I can't read it. This thing, I'm gonna tell you, this thing hasn't even been out of the damn bay. They got a solar light taped on that thing on the back, that transom thing. These people weren't sailors, that's for sure. It might have been that boat those people were living on with those kids. There's the holes where the bilge went. The window duct taped. Jesus almighty. Look at the growth on that bottom. That'll sink them right there. Years ago there was one that sunk back behind the old Sammy. And it's because they never cleaned the bottom of the power boat. And so it just sunk and it slipped. Big old power boat. And because some tourist that lives out of state bought that boat and just put it there and don't check on it and don't come down very often, and that's what happens. Wow, how far are they going to take that truck down to the water? That sucker looked pretty low to me. It could be low tide today. It just looked like he was just driving right into the water. It's kind of low tide. I was quite sure he drove right in, way into the water. But no, I was wrong. But they're driving into the sand. Wow. And the paving only goes so far. Amazing. So, we will go over here. There's some of the birds there right now. And the dock's going to be wet. I'm going to sit on it. You know? There's some people that load the boat in right there. And you can see, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a big seagull at the end of that dock. Yeah, the water's real low. Because you can see all the pylons and docks sitting on. These guys are going fishing. See all those fishing rods? Look at that. It is a fishing day. The only thing is they should have done it at night.